The bustling sound of the restaurant faded into a quiet as the last few customers finished their meals and left. The flickering of neon lights outside cast a dim glow on the tables. The once energetic hum of waiters rushing between tables, the clinking of cutlery, and the sizzling of food on the grill had all settled into an eerie silence. Amidst it all, a single figure remained, slumped in a booth, her head resting against the table. Maria had worked her shift from noon until the restaurant doors closed, and despite the late hour, she had not moved an inch. Her breath was shallow, and her tired body gave off an aura of exhaustion that no amount of coffee could fix. To the casual observer, she appeared to be a typical waitress, wearing a simple uniform, cleaning napkins and resetting tables in between orders. But the truth was, Maria was far from ordinary. She had dreams of a better life, one that didn't involve long hours at a restaurant, barely scraping by. But the rent was due, bills piled up, and the thought of quitting never seemed like an option. So, she had pressed on, shift after shift, pouring every ounce of energy into her work, just to ensure she could make it through another month. But tonight, as she lay asleep at her table, her exhaustion had finally caught up with her. Before we dive deeper into Maria's story, I want to invite you to join the Whispers of Kindness community. If you haven't already, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and I'd love for you to be a part of the journey. Little did Maria know, her life was about to change forever. Across the restaurant, hidden in the shadows, sat the CEO of the restaurant chain, Daniel Hall. He wasn't just any businessman. He was a millionaire, known for his sharp decision-making and immense wealth. But tonight, he wasn't in his usual office attire or his plush corporate office. Tonight, Daniel had decided to do something different. He would work undercover, in the same way his employees did, to understand the realities of the business he ran. Clad in simple attire, Daniel blended in perfectly, just another face among the restaurant staff. He watched, listened, and observed the late hours, the draining work, the tired eyes of the people who served customers with a smile. They all told him a story, but it was Maria, asleep in the booth, that truly caught his attention. As he approached her quietly, he could see the strain on her face, the deep lines around her eyes, the way her hands were clenched into tight fists, even in her sleep. She had been through something far beyond the usual fatigue of an ordinary shift. Daniel hesitated. He had always seen his employees as numbers, as faces that came and went. But something about Maria tugged at his heartstrings. He had to know her story. After a few moments, he gently tapped her on the shoulder. She stirred slightly, then slowly opened her eyes, blinking. Against the harsh fluorescent light, the moment she saw him, her face changed, surprise, followed by confusion, then a hint of embarrassment. "I'm sorry," she stammered, sitting up quickly, brushing her hair out of her face. "I must have dozed off, Daniel smiled kindly, but his voice held sincerity. "No need to apologize. It looks like you've had a long day." Maria paused, not quite sure what to make of the man before her. His friendly smile didn't match the typical demeanor of customers or management. He looked like he genuinely cared. She glanced around the restaurant, half expecting her boss to walk in and scold her for sleeping on the job. But to her surprise, the restaurant was empty, and this man was the only one around. "I'm Daniel," he said, offering his hand. Maria blinked again, her tired brain working overtime to process his words. I'm Maria. Nice to meet you, I guess. You've been working here for a while, haven't you?" Daniel asked, his voice calm and warm, inviting her to talk. He wasn't here for business. He was here to listen. Maria nodded, still unsure of what was happening. "Yeah, it's been almost 2 years. I mean, it's not the best job, but it pays the bills." Daniel noticed the sadness that flickered in her eyes. He leaned back slightly, giving her space to breathe. "How many hours do you work a week, Maria?" She sighed deeply, looking away. "I usually work 6 days a week, about 50 hours or more. I do what I can to make ends meet." Daniel nodded, his thoughts running deep. He had heard about the struggles of his employees, but hearing it firsthand hit differently. Maria wasn't just a worker in his restaurant. She was a person with dreams, fears, and an immense amount of potential. And yet the weight of life's challenges had pushed her into a corner, making her feel like there was no way out. "I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable," Daniel said softly, realizing she had been fidgeting in her seat. "I just wanted to know." What more could we do for you? How could this place be better, not just for you, but for everyone who works here? Maria was taken aback. No one had ever asked her that. In all her years of working in the restaurant, she had never been asked what could be done for her. She had always been the one to give, never the one to receive. She opened her mouth, but the words got stuck in her throat. She had never thought about it, never allowed herself to dream about it. She finally said, I guess, I just wish I could do something more, you know? I want more for my life, but I'm stuck. I don't have the time or energy to go after anything else. I'm just tired. Daniel listened intently, his heart heavy with the weight of her words. He knew that many people felt the same way, but hearing it from Maria, sitting in front of him, made it real. Have you ever thought about pursuing your dreams? Daniel asked. Maybe there's a way to make things easier for you. Maria laughed bitterly. Dreams? All I have are bills to pay. Dreams are for people who don't have to worry about how to make rent. Daniel's heart clenched, but he kept his tone encouraging. I think you're wrong, Maria. Dreams are what keep us going. They may seem impossible right now, but if you had the support, would you go after them? Maria didn't know what to say. She had spent so long surviving, just making it through each day, that the idea of thriving had become a distant thought. Daniel saw the hesitation in her eyes, and in that moment he made a decision. Maria, he said, his voice firm yet kind, I want to help you. You've got potential, and you deserve more than this life you're living. How would you feel about a promotion? How would you feel about managing a team and having more control over your time? Maria's eyes widened, a mix of disbelief and hope spreading across her face. Wait, what? A promotion? But I'm just a waitress. Daniel smiled. Not anymore. I see something in you, Maria. You've been dedicated, hardworking, and you care. That's the kind of person I want leading my team. She didn't know what to say. She had never been given an opportunity like this before. The thought of managing a team, having a say in decisions, and not being stuck in the same rut every day. She couldn't believe it. But what about the others? The ones who've been here longer than me? Maria asked, suddenly feeling guilty. Daniel shook his head. This isn't about competition. This is about helping people rise. You'll help those others along the way, I promise. Maria sat back, stunned by his words. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. Real, tangible hope. If you're feeling inspired by Maria's story, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness. Your support is what keeps this channel going. Let's spread positivity and inspiration together. Months passed, and Maria thrived in her new role. She worked hard, not just for herself, but for the team she now led. She was no longer just surviving, she was living. Her confidence grew, and her dreams slowly began to take shape. Daniel's decision to listen to her that night had changed her life. It had reminded her that sometimes, the most powerful thing a leader can do is simply care. By taking the time to understand, to listen, and to give someone a chance, you can spark a transformation that changes everything. Maria's journey wasn't easy, but it was hers, and she would continue to climb, knowing that she had someone who believed in her, even when she couldn't believe in herself. As you finish reading Maria's story, think about the people around you. How often do you take the time to listen, to understand, and to help someone rise? Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness to be part of more inspiring stories. Thank you for watching, and remember, every act of kindness counts.